Well, I was 13 years old when my dad decided to send me to bricklaying apprentice school, and we went to a 20-day wonder school. That's what they called it back then, in the summer month of June. And then I worked during the summer for my dad in his masonry construction company. And every summer I would work for him or another contractor if he didn't have work, until I graduated from high school. Well, like I said, I started working for my dad during the summers or for other contractors. And as that progressed, I started doing more and more work and learning blueprint reading. And by the time I was 18, I graduated from high school and became a bricklayer foreman. And I worked as a bricklayer foreman for my dad for several years, and soon thereafter my dad decided to incorporate the company, and he and I and two older brothers incorporated the company, and we were all partners in the company. And that lasted for probably 10 years, and then that kind of split up when one of my older brothers, who was running the company at the time, decided to leave and go on his own, and that's when I took over running the company and ran it from then to when I retired. Probably the first big challenge I ran across was when I became a bricklayer foreman at the age of 18, was trying to deal with older bricklayers and being a boss of these older bricklayers. They didn't like taking orders from a young 18-year-old kid fresh out of high school. So that was a real challenge to learn how to deal with that. But eventually I got through that by firing a few of them, and they learned that I could sign a check too. They learned to take orders from me. And then the next thing was when I was actually running the company that very first year. It happened during a downturn in the economy, and when I took the business over, and we really didn't have much work and we didn't have much money, and I had a real rough time getting through that year. But somehow I scraped and managed, with my older brother and I working through it. And we got through that year, and that was a big deal. And I guess that was a major accomplishment. And then we got through two more downturns. And then I guess later on I decided to diversify and get into another type business, and that was a mistake because I didn't know what I was doing in that business and lost some money, but we came out of that too. So you learn from your mistakes, and I've made some, and I guess that's the things that you learn when you're in business. So it was a good learning experience, but it was a very costly one. Some of my proudest moments, let's see. Probably when I was about 20-something, 23, 24 years old, I built a church in Houston, Texas, a sanctuary that had a lot of arches, had a lot of bullseye windows, had a lot of stone and brick, masonry. It was just what I call a gorgeous masonry job. And I was young and had a lot to learn about laying out those types of jobs, and I built that, and it's still standing today, and it's just a gorgeous building, and that's one of my proud moments, is that I got to build that particular job, and I can still go back and look at it now. And I have been back there. In fact, this last year I went back with one of my grandsons and could show him, which was kind of neat. And he was playing soccer over there at that church school, so it was neat to get to show him that building. And then other proud moments was getting through those years when things were really rough, and we managed to get through them, made some decisions that got us through, working with CPAs and bankers and lawyers and things, that made some decisions that I, as a young man that didn't know much about business at the time, could go through those and get through it and survive. Made me very proud. It was a proud moment, I guess, when the state association made a special award to me for the work that I did with them. It's one that they had never given out before, and I was the first recipient, and maybe the only recipient of an award from them of that type, I don't know. And then the MCAA awarded me the Lead Man Award one year, which was a total surprise to me. It really caught me totally unawares and almost speechless, because I really didn't expect it. They just caught me totally by surprise. I had to go up and accept it and say something, and I didn't really know what to say. I was just shocked. I hope I didn't make a fool of myself when I spoke, but I'm usually not very speechless, but that time I was. But that was a very proud moment. But probably the proudest moment was when my son Andrew decided to come into the business and buy into the business, so that I had someone to leave the company to that was part of the family. That's probably my proudest moment. The one piece of advice I would give to my younger self is to find a mentor when I go into business. I didn't do that, and I think that I made way too many mistakes on the business end of running the business. I think if I'd had a mentor I could call up and talk to about some of the things in business that I didn't know, I could have saved myself a lot of worry, a lot of mistakes, and a lot of money. It's not having that expertise. I knew a lot about masonry, a lot about bricklaying, a lot about buildings and things of that, but as far as running a business, I didn't know a lot. So if I'd had a mentor, even if he wasn't in the masonry business, if he knew something about business that I could call and talk to and run things by, it would have saved me a lot of expense. My true legacy is my children. I have faith and confidence that I've left 4 children in this world that have all been successful, grown up, have kids. They're all productive in this world. They're all moral. They're all giving back to the world like they should be doing. And they're all honest and faith, loving people, and I'm very proud of them. My advice to younger people entering the industry today is to work hard, be honest, be true to their work ethics, give back to their industry in any way they can. If they remain just a bricklayer, try to teach others to do their work. If they get into contracting, then give back to the industry by being part of associations in any way they can, their local, their state, their national associations. Try to work with people who teach masonry in the colleges, in the schools, any way they can that will help promote the masonry industry, because we need to give back to our world. It will grow our industry, and there's something about giving back that brings more to you. It's the same thing as tithing in your church. If you give back a percentage, you gain from that. That's something that I've learned throughout the years. It's something my dad taught me. My dad was a minister as well as a contractor, and he was faithful at giving his tithe to the church. I've given my tithe to the church. I've tried to give my tithe back to the industry, and I believe that it's paid off in the long run. I've seen the industry grow through the time period that I've been involved in it. It certainly has grown my business, and I feel like it's important that you give back. Being inducted into the Hall of Fame means to me that I've been recognized by my peer group as being exceptional. I'm not sure exactly why I've been recognized to be exceptional. I guess it's because I've given back. I appreciate that they've recognized it. I'm grateful that someone has submitted my name for this, and I think it was my son, I'm not sure. It could have been my partner, Mel Aller, or maybe both of them, I don't know, but I'm grateful that they did it. I'm just can't hardly believe that I deserve such an honor to be in a Hall of Fame. It's truly a remarkable thing to be recognized by people that I've known through the years that are also in this Hall of Fame already, that I feel like deserve it a whole lot more than I do, and they're already there and have done greater things than I've done, or I feel like they have. And how can I be in their class? I'm not sure. It's just an amazing thing to me.